It's great to be here. It's my favorite time of the year. You know, basketball season is really getting ready to start, and it actually felt like the last 6 years, a little bit of snow this weekend, so felt like the Vermont weather. I'm excited about our season, really excited you know, to coach these guys. They're working hard, and you know, we're getting healthy now, so we're really just happy to have the games and exhibition game coming up around the corner. Really excited for our seniors, especially. I think it's a chance for them to really leave a legacy here. They've had some successes, but haven't reached the goals that they've set for themselves, and we have definitely set some lofty goals for them. So I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank Mr. Nero and President Knapp and Dr. Chernak, everyone involved with the decision to hire me. I couldn't be happier to be back in town and to be the coach at GW. So thanks a lot.
All right, we'll open up the questions.
Coach, Elizabeth Trainer from the GW Hatchet. Can you talk about what it means to have Lasan from a return to the team, but also touch upon the personal drive that he showed to get back to the court?
Well, I'm really happy to have Lasan back. Just looking at the numbers, I really studied the stats a lot over the summer because with the rules we weren't allowed to work with our players until September. And, he definitely had a good freshman season. It's hard for anyone to have a year layoff. So I'm sure early, there's going to be some rust. But the good thing is he seems, completely healthy. He's definitely a terrific player. I saw him a lot in high school. He had a lot of injuries in high school as well, missed a lot of AAU, part of the AAU season. But I think that's great, having him back, and should really make for, a strong backcourt with Tony. And especially excited because Lasan is really the only area player we inherited, and that's something that we want to really build on and get, local players. There's been a lot of guys from D.C. area, Baltimore, in the past for some successful teams here. And I think the better Lasan does, the more it will help with our local recruiting.
Maybe talk a little bit about how hard he worked.
Yeah, I think he worked hard along with Shannon, our athletic trainer, and I kind of stay out of the training room, so I'm not sure what his rehab really entailed. I know they brought him back slowly. Really still not sure what that injury was to his foot, but to miss a whole year with a foot injury, it's definitely scary. So they brought him along slowly, and I think that the decisions made by the doctors and athletic trainers have really paid off. So I know Lasan's excited, and I know he's excited to really get back on the court and show our fans that, he really is a good player that's going to have a great career here.
Craig Steele from Washington Examiner. Do you feel like a new guy in D.C., or just talk about kind of what the last few months have been like for you to be back in town?
Yeah, I feel new here. I spent most of my time in Northeast D.C. and lived up off Connecticut Avenue for a while when I was coaching at Catholic U, and so I've been to games at Foggy Bottom, but I don't know this area that well. It's a great area, and it's different. I worked in city schools before, but this is definitely different than Catholic University. It's an urban campus, and it's kind of neat. The happiest I am is when I get rid of my car in the morning, and then you can walk to lunch, walk across the street. It's kind of neat. Our offices are in the townhouse, which is pretty cool. I've never worked at a school where it was set up like that. So everything's exciting. You get to see a lot of your friends more often, friends in the media, just my friends, my family, and just to run into people all the time. And you really don't get that at Vermont, just being so far away from everything. Really, it was a great area, but I love it here. I'm a little down that the Redskins haven't been winning, and I'm excited about going to pro sports games. I hope the NBA comes back, although it might help our attendance if it doesn't. But I am excited about going to some pro sports games. Attended a lot of Nationals games, and that was a lot of fun with my family.
Austin Chandel, GW. Aaron Ware said that your playbook was football-like. What would you say is the biggest help that you have having a senior guard like Tony Taylor running your offense?
Well, the good thing is, Tony really picks things up. He's got a high basketball IQ. The bad thing is we're a little behind with the other guys. So we definitely have a lot of plays, a lot of different offensive sets, and we've tried to scale back, but we're far from really having a good grip behind any of our offenses. So that's something that's taken a longer time than I expected, and we need a lot of practice time. We're gonna have to just keep working at it. And but like I said, Tony really grasps things well, and hopefully some other guys will start picking things up, a little quicker. But we're trying to scale it back and figure out what our best offense is. But we definitely do have a large playbook.
Joseph.
Mike, some of you guys, especially your seniors, are talking about just want to get to Atlantic City. They've never been. And that's a relatively modest goal when you think about it. And I wonder what you make of that goal. Is that almost, guys who've never been, obviously, it's a benchmark. It's almost too modest of a goal.
No, I mean, we haven't done it lately. So, I mean, I have some loftier goals, but I tell you what, that's one of my main goals. I mean, I would like for our seniors to, you don't want to leave here and never advancing in the Atlantic 10 tournament. So first, I want to make the Atlantic 10 tournament, and then, we want to win a game to get to it, Atlantic City. Then anything can happen. And my hope is that we're healthy, we're playing better. I pride ourselves. Our programs, our teams usually get better at the end of the year, and being lucky with injuries and stuff has something to do with it. But this year especially, I think we will get better because, it's going to be a learning curve with all the new stuff for the players. So I definitely would like to get Atlantic City. I know my mother-in-law spends a lot of time there. Bus trip down from Honesdale, Pennsylvania once a week. So I know she's probably the only person who wants us to get there more than I do.
Mike G. Wong, Washington Post. What's the most daunting part of taking over a new program? Is it kind of maybe part of your philosophy into the team players that maybe use something else, or installing the X's and O's, or just something else?
I think really installing the X's and O's and getting to know the players, just having a totally new system. I know that Coach Turgeon's going through the same thing. Everything's new for the players. I mean, the good thing is Coach Hobbs is a good coach and his teams play hard. So that's one thing I really demand, that they play hard. So that has been an easy transition. And recruiting, we're kind of behind. Recruiting is so accelerated at this level that getting a job on May 3rd, we really need to put together a good class from the class of 2012. So concentrating on our team right now, and also really, working hard as a staff to try to, sign some good kids for next week. So because that's really going to decide, the future of our program, because we're going to lose, 3 very good seniors and 1 great player in Tony. So we really have to have a great recruiting class.
Let's go to Nico first.
WRGW. They talked a lot about how the guards are playing a role in offense. What about the goals?
We want to go inside. It's sort of a thing with inexperience. Jabari hasn't played a lot of minutes, and I don't think he's really used to getting the ball. So we're trying to really encourage inside out. I mean, it doesn't matter how good your guards are if you have no inside game. So we're trying to stress with the guys, inside out offense. We got to give them touches inside. And David Pelham is back now from an injury, and that definitely has added some firepower to us. But he's not really a post up guy, and that's something that we've got to find within our team, someone that can play with their back to the basket, and that you can draw some defense to open things up for Tony and Nemanja and Lasan. So I'm a guard, and I believe that the guards are very important, but we have to get someone to to prove that they can score inside.
JW alumnus Mark Plotkin.
Mark Plotkin, WTOP. Coach, 2 vastly different questions. I didn't realize that Meg was the leading freshman three-point shooter in the nation. From watching last year, he didn't shoot enough. What do you do to get him to shoot more?
Well, we know he can shoot, and I actually I tell him I'd like him to do more than shoot. I think that teams are going to key on him. It's amazing to me he shot that well, because that's sort of all he really has done is shoot threes. He doesn't really get to the foul line, and most of his attempts are threes. We're trying to get him to mix it up and rebound a little bit, and just try to, he's got an excellent shot fake, but try to, one dribble going towards the basket, expand his game really. But we're definitely going to try to run plays for him. He's not the quickest guy in the world, so it's hard to free him up coming off the screens. But he has a pretty high basketball IQ, and it's really just him understanding that we want him to get shots, and any open 3 for him is a great 3. He does shoot that well.
And the different question, maybe it's not your realm. You talked about GW's visibility because they don't play a lot on TV. How many of these games doesn't signify how many of these games are going to be on TV, especially away games?
Mark, we got that information coming out for you. So.
Okay. Maybe the coach wants to answer.
Well, I will say this. You know, before I took the job, you know, I talked to Mr. Nero, and I really believe, like John Calipari at UMass a long time ago, he'd play anybody, anytime, anywhere to be on TV, and we did that at Vermont. You know, one of the reasons we played Loyola wasn't really because my best friend was a coach. It was because, you know, they were buying TV games, and he was getting a game on TV. So to come Loyola, so we'd play Loyola, Quinnipiac. We'd play any team that was getting the games on TV, whether it was Nesson in New England or Comcast. So here, you know, I didn't know the team that well because they were never on TV, and whether that was the A10 or the school or whatever, there wasn't a lot of visibility. So I know Mr. Nero believes in that visibility for, you know, for all our sports. So I think as few as 12 games will be on TV.
Where's the first game?
I think California is. I think it's on national TV. I'm not sure if it's ESPNU or what it is. But that really helps recruiting, and you know, it's something with Syracuse. The whole team graduated when I got there, but everybody knew them from the Vermont team because of that Syracuse win, and we just had to stay on TV and as much as possible. And I definitely believe in TV.
Coach Tim Murray, ESPN 980. You're a DC guy. You've talked about it a little bit. How important is it for the program in order to bring some DC and Baltimore players in your next couple of recruiting classes?
You know, I think it's huge, and like I said, when I got the job, you know, we want to recruit nationally because of the academic reputation of the school, internationally because Coach Jarvis, Coach Beaton, previous staffs have done with Yegor and other players here have had tremendous careers. So we want to take advantage of that. Great city, one of the most powerful cities in the world. And locally, you know, not just because I'm a local guy, but it's amazing the town here per capita. I think it's the best basketball town, you know, in the world. So to only have one local player, something was, you know, shocking to me, I'll say. But with Isaiah Armwood already joining our program, Baltimore, big-time program, Montrose, you know, hopefully we can build on that. And I would say next year we will have a minimum of 3 local players, you know, hopefully as many as 4 or 5.
Okay, I see 4 more. Do we have any more beyond that? Okay, we'll get to those 4. With the Jake first.
Jake, as you're mentioning, what can Isaiah Armwood contribute this season despite the media?
He definitely can help us. So, you know, we need to get the talent level, the depth, I'll say, up. And, you know, he's one of our top 2 or 3 players every day in practice. Best rebounder, great leader. Competes in every drill, so he is really helping our team, even though he won't be able to, you know, to play this year. And I know it's going to be hard for him sitting out that year, but you know, you never know. I knew in high school he was a great player, and you know, he did some good things at Villanova, but you know, I couldn't be happier with you know, with Isaiah right now. I just wish he could play.
Go to Megan first.
Megan Clardy, ABC4 Sports. You talked before about how this position seemed like the perfect fit for you. Can you talk a little bit more about being home and what you lend to the W program?
Well, you know, it's when you coach, it's really difficult to spend a lot of time at home. I'm fortunate because my wife's a coach, so she will come down here at times with the kids, and she'll come to games, women's games too, because we both love women's basketball. You know, I got home late for Halloween last night, but it is nice that, you know, I was able to see my dad at church on Sunday and different things like that. And my sisters, four of them, all 4 live in Maryland, 3 in Bowie. So, you know, being home is awesome. My kids are all going to go to the same school. 3 of them are already there at St. Pius, where I went to school a long time ago. So those things really, you don't realize how special they are until, you know, until you really do them. And you know, I know I like to go to 9 o'clock mass on Sunday. My sister's like, go to 7:30 because my dad goes there. And, you know, it really is. I can just see it in his eyes. He's excited about coming here. He's complaining about the parking already. So I think I'm working on getting him a spot for the games. But he, you know, he didn't go to Vermont too much for games. Go to UMBC or Maryland. We played somebody local, Loyola. But I'm sure he'll be at all the games. And, you know, he's in great shape. So, but my friend said, you got to live in Bowie. You'll add 10 years to your dad's life. And so that's one of the reasons I want to live near him. Not really for me, but my kids get to hang out with their grandfather, and he picks them up from school twice a week. So, you know, that is pretty cool.
Can you just touch on Dwayne Smith's absence? You know, last year, not only was he putting points on the board for the team, but he really didn't need for himself, you know, doing the dirty work. What does it mean to have him out of the lineup and his return as day-to-day? So how are you maybe trying to adjust for that?
Well, it's killing us because he's our leading returning rebounder. He's the only guy besides Tony, and really close to double figures. I think he averaged about 9 and change a game. and I've never seen him play. I mean, except on film. So I hope he gets back soon. It's kind of out of my control, and I think my hope is that when he comes back, he's supposed to be one of our 3 best players. That'll really add to our talent level. So I'm saying my prayers and hope he feels better and gets back. But we really need him. I know he's undersized, but he's a terrific rebounder, and he's a tough kid, and he's experienced. So I'm hoping Dwayne gets back soon, but the season's getting ready to start, so he's going to be behind, and we got to get him back there as quick as possible.
Julia Parley,
Hi.
You have 100% graduation rate as a head coach. Can you talk a bit about continuing that academic success surge?
Yeah, we're working on that right now. I hope I'll keep that streak going, but it's just something I think holding guys accountable and really providing a lot of structure and discipline and kids like that. And that's not to say there wasn't that before, but I think it really does mean a lot to me, because I always tell the guys I didn't get a Division I scholarship. I wasn't good enough, so I had to rely on my academics to allow me to go to Catholic University and get an academic scholarship and play basketball, which is what I love to do. So I told them there's no sense of wasting an opportunity to get a great degree, and don't just settle for a 2.4. Try to get a 3.0, because if you ever decide to go to grad school, it becomes a lot easier to get into. So I do take a lot of pride in that. And these guys know how serious we are, and it's one of the reasons I hired Hodge Turner a long time ago, because he's a guy that took advantage of basketball and got a master's degree, even though his playing career was curtailed with 4 major knee surgeries. So everyone on our staff believes in graduating players and what this school was really all about, and Patrick Nero definitely does, or I wouldn't have come to work for him. So we're going to try to take advantage of the reputation of the school and really recruit. Not everybody's going to be a high academic guy, but I've coached a lot of different guys, priests, lawyers. I'd like to coach a Rhodes Scholar. I really would. So it's definitely possible at this school.